All right, we are live. Barstool units. Frank, what episode is this?
What are we? Let me just look
55,
that up.
maybe?
I think we're at either like 45 or 46 now. We're getting close to the big 50. That's going to be a big episode,
Yeah.
hopefully. But Yeah, this is number 46. Number
46.
46.
46. All right, Barstool units, episode 46. I'm Coach Doug's. With me, as always, the very bearded Frank the Tank Fleming. Frank, how you doing?
All right. The beard continues to grow. The beard will last. Will now uh, go past New Year's Day as the Dolphins continue to win, 7 straight wins and counting. The season ends today. The Dolphins will actually be in the playoffs. I would have thought you had been on drugs if you said that. I mean, it honestly is just amazing how everything is just like completely turned around for this team. Where this team was 1-7 and looking like they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL, with their pick going to the Eagles, which
Yeah.
is what really pissed me off.
Yeah. It was really that the pick was what got you. It's like you can have a bad season, but to not even get a high draft pick from that's demoralizing.
I mean, there's one glaring weak spot. And it looks like the Dolphins are basically going to let Mike Gesicki walk at the end of the year, which kind of sucks. But I think the number one priority is they got to fix that offensive line.
Yeah.
The offensive line is so bad,
Yeah, you can't really do anything without the offensive line.
and the Dolphins actually have some good cap space. So they really got to look at who, if there's any big offensive linemen out there that are free agents, and just go get some offensive linemen.
Yeah,
I mean, they're going to be probably drafting somewhere around 20, wherever the Niners get their pick. And basically, it's going to be basically about the same pick as the Dolphins' pick would have been. And which is thankful. I mean, good God. I mean, if they would have had to finish like 4-13, and that would have been a top five pick, that would have been just. And Jalen Waddle is turning into a great player.
yeah, yeah. We saw the water last night.
Yep. So the offensive line is still a mess. It's Tua almost has no time to ever throw the ball. He has no time, no time.
Yeah,
The running game isn't very good. Although Duke Johnson, I mean, he's given him a little more energy. He's definitely better than Miles Gaskin.
you look at last
Uh,
night; he was running people over.
yeah, and Miles Gaskin did squadouche.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
very close to taking because he only needed like 11 receiving yards for like the prop bet to hit, and I was like, I'm not taking that.
and yeah, he typically makes 1 or 2 catches for like 5 yards each, but he just isn't good.
Yeah,
And if they could get an offensive, if they could get a running back in the draft, maybe, and definitely got to
it's still a lot.
definitely got to do something for that line. That line has got to be fixed.
Yeah,
Their,
yeah.
their
Well, that's I
defense
mean,
is their defense is good. You know, the Dolphins lead the league in sacks now.
yeah.
I mean, they
You
sacked
guys
Ian
are
Book like 8 times yesterday.
yeah, I was going to say you guys were playing the Saints, who I don't think they had any starting linemen um, compared to what they said they had started like 57 different starters this season. They had
Yep.
a fourth string quarterback. I honestly was surprised they didn't put Bortles in.
You know, he just probably didn't know the book like Ian knew it.
See what you did there. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Frank. I'm personally happy the Dolphins are continuing to win because the Dolphins keep winning. You're happy. The beard is
Uh,
growing.
I didn't think it would be possible to be sitting here a few days from New Year's Day, and the Miami Dolphins are in playoff position, playoff contention. they're going to be playing meaningful football games in January, and I didn't think they'd be playing meaningful football games in November.
Yeah, I know. I was there with you when we were at down there in Miami. That's when it all
I
turned
mean,
out.
there was 2 1-7 teams on that field that day. The Texans have only won a few games. I've won a few games since then, but the Dolphins are now 7 straight wins. Incredible. It's the longest Dolphin winning streak since like 1985.
Yeah.
I mean, it truly is a remarkable turnaround.
And no matter what happens, no matter how the season ends, this stretch has shown you that the guys can play. I think they have the right coach, and they're just missing, like most teams, they're just missing a few pieces.
Yeah, well, it's a big piece with the offensive line, but
Yeah,
they fix it out. They get that offensive line squared away. Maybe Tua could actually be a decent quarterback.
I hear you. Jaguars are in the same boat. We need a whole lot, but the Jaguars,
Well,
that's a whole other story.
well, we went to the Jaguar game Sunday, and what I saw was troubling. The record's bad, but Trevor Lawrence actually looks skittish.
Yeah,
He looks like he does. It looks like he's indecisive, and it's just like the game is just going like 100 miles per hour for him, and he doesn't. And the coaching staff that they put out there did not have him set up for success. It had him set up for failure, and the priority is whoever they hire, they got to bring in a coach that could teach him the right way and help him get the game slowed down. I mean, when they got the ball down to the 1 yard line with 12 seconds left, that he ran up there and spiked the ball.
Yeah.
On third down. 12 seconds left at the 1. You have 2 plays. I mean, you just step back, you throw into the end zone and hope if someone catches it, it's a touchdown, you win. If you throw it out, you throw it in a position where only one of your guys can complete it, but he spiked the ball.
I think it comes down to a lack of preparation. You have to know. You have to go onto the field for that last drive, knowing what you're going to do on the goal line.
And when you spike the ball, you spike it so you could be prepared for a play. They went out to 4th down. There are players that are like bumping into each other, running into each other, trying to get into position, and
that's why there was a penalty. It was an illegal shift.
I mean, and just totally.
I know it's sad, Frank. It's sad. And that is the worst part about it is there's no progress or anything. Again, like I said at the beginning of the season, I thought Urban would not make it a full season, which is not. I'm no Nostradamus over here. A lot of people did not think he would make it a year. Now, I don't think anybody thought he would go out the way he did, but he wasn't winning ball games. And the worst thing about this is not that we have to restart. It's that we've lost a year of real coaching to Trevor Lawrence. We have wasted a year. And when that year compounds over the next 3 to 4 years, when we see if he's the real deal, that makes a big difference.
I mean, that's why it's important to get a good coach for a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. But, we'll see. We still have him. I'm not throwing in the towel. There's some people saying, like, he's already a bust. I think those people don't know what they're talking about. But, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, this is just breaking news. Carson Wentz is probably going to miss the last 2 games. He's unvaccinated and on the COVID list.
But is he immunized? Yeah. Well, speaking of that, so we'll jump into it. Arizona Bowl has been canceled. Now, I will say this. It's not due to COVID. The Arizona Bowl was canceled because the NCAA is using parameters that were set a year and a half ago to determine the safety of people today.
Yeah, the NCAA at the beginning of bowl season created an extra bowl game out of thin air, out of the thin blue sky, called the Frisco Football Classic. They didn't even have a name for it. They just called the Frisco Football Classic because two teams who were bowl eligible couldn't go to a bowl game because they were out of bowl games.
Yeah.
Both teams went 6-6. That was Miami, Ohio, and North Texas. Now, each of these teams could have been used as a substitute for some of these games that have been canceled. So because you want to play an extra game, you've now had a couple of bowl games canceled. There's no Military Bowl, there's no Fenway Bowl, and there's no Arizona Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and then they of course they pushed heavily because CBS, as in CBS.
Are they showing the Sun Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and we're not talking CBS Sports Network. This is going to be on CBS. It's going to be on over the air, traditional. So, of course they had more money.
Yeah.
Than the Arizona Bowl.
It's unfortunate. Obviously, it sucks for the players that aren't going to be able to play. There were seniors.
And gets me is most of these cases of the Omicron virus, the Omicron variant of COVID, are extremely minor.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why everyone got vaccinated. This is why everyone was told, but yet we're still getting restricted. Now mask mandates are coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like a segment of the population that's actually rooting for these restrictions and mandates, and you have people actually who want to be shut down again. I mean, these are the people who drive around with two masks on while they're in a fucking car by themselves.
Yeah, it has become COVID restrictions and regulations to certain people have become a religion. It's become something to look up to, and I think for the most part, people are living on the edge. I think they have strong bonds with a few things in their life, and as soon as one of those bonds gets taken away, it's just they're on the edge. And I think for the past 2 years, this whole thing has just been pushing people closer and closer to that edge, and they look for something that'll hold them, that is sustainable, and they think regulations are the key.
And now there are videos coming out about New York updated, stepping up mask mandates and vax passports, where like a 7-year-old boy was kicked out of a diner because he wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah.
And then there were people like arrested at a Burger King.
I saw that. I think Jack Mack posted that, where I guess there's people just going around New York City, trying to cause a scene or whatnot, trying to get arrested.
Oh yeah, provocateurs.
So going to the chains.
Provocateurs.
Yeah, which listen, I mean, go for it. The sad part is it puts the workers in a predicament.
Puts the police in a predicament. It's because of the arrogance of just both sides.
Yeah,
and the hubris of both sides. I mean, it just is terrible. One thing that sucks about the Arizona Bowl getting canceled is I would have actually flipped a coin.
Yeah, that'd been fun.
I even got this coin to practice.
Well, hold on to it.
Yeah.
Now you have a whole year to practice.
Yeah, but it would, and Scott Sapp from Creed there, he was going to join. Well, he was going to join Pup Punk at their concert. He would have. The Pup Punk and Scott Sapp would have sung higher. I mean,
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? You're in the crowd. You're already there. It's the Arizona Bowl concert with Pub Punk. Everyone's having a good time, and then Scott Stapp comes out to sing higher. It's like that's, and I think that's again. I feel for the players of the teams that aren't going to be able to play again. This was so much more than a bowl game. This was like a week long event that had
I would have tomorrow they were going to have a whatchamacallit, they were going to have a special tournament of the dozen,
yeah,
and it would have been the first time that the dozen would have been played in front of fans.
yeah. They would have had live dozen trivia. They would have had bar crawl with Brown and Chicken Fry and Dana Beers, Pup Punk with Scott Stapp. There's so many things that were going along with the bowl game. The
And then I
commentary from
look at these
Pat and
people
Jake.
who are literally happy that the Barstool got embarrassed, that Barstool got at least embarrassed in their eyes or
No,
their small pea-brained heads, and are happy that the bowl game got canceled.
yeah. There's
I mean that they're just like frothing at the mouth, just anger and just people would have been having fun. I don't like that.
they really are the worst type of people.
I mean, it's like the people on morning shows. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. How's it going, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. 3 people were killed in a car accident yesterday on the slick roads. How the roads today, Howard? Oh, it's so nice here. The sunshine is out there today. Sunshine and right. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, that's right. And everyone should be safe at home. Like I'm broadcasting from home today. How's it going? Good. He goes, yeah, my kid's actually starting to get a little fat. Why is he getting fat? You know, I don't understand it. He's got a VR headset to actually look at museums now. Isn't that something else? He goes, and I'm going to make sure that he stays inside until this COVID thing is over and there's nobody dying after. Yes, that's right. That's right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I mean, it is so inanely stupid. It really just shows you if you just watch media and let everything just influence you. You'd be like you'd be what was that word
Agoraphobic.
agoraphobic. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
the,
sure they are.
that's
Like I said,
basically that's basically what they seem to want. It's like an agoraphobic world.
yeah, and that's well, as long as everyone's following the rules. I think I'm not sure what it is. There are people on Twitter who have tweets going back to like 2010. Okay, so let's start with. I mean, just to bring up a couple guys. There's the Knoxville radio announcer. I think his name's Brian Rice, who tweeted out, basically Barstool Sports losing the bowl game because of COVID. Isn't that ironic? Like, you don't understand what the term ironic means. People look into his past tweets. He's got like Asian hate tweets or like, stereotypical Asian tweets and stuff like that. And it's like, how how are you so? And then he's one case. Then you have this Mark Wright guy or whoever. I can't remember his name.
Whiting,
He
Whitty.
he has something Warwick or something like that. I don't know. He wrote a piece basically detailing all the sporting events that were missed when this girl was kidnapped and held captive and raped and forced to like have the captor's children. Like he wrote a whole article based on how unfortunate it is that she missed all these great sporting events. And
Uh,
people, it's known as like the worst sports column in history. And when I asked the guy, he actually answered. I appreciated him answering. I'm like, "Is this you?" He said, "Yes, that was 12 years ago."
mhm.
Oh, now all of a sudden time is relative. All of a sudden time is important. How long ago you wrote something? Then after basically he said that happened in 2009. You're rehashing old stuff. It's like you wanted to look into history. We're looking into history, and now you're complaining that we're looking into your history. It's not. Here's the thing, and I'll say this. It's not that they're coming after Barstool or that it's a matter of how can you be such a hypocrite? How can you throw stones while you're in glass? That is the biggest. That is the biggest frustration for me. Is
you
that
know,
look at them and you go, who are you to talk?
if Jesus came back today and was to stand in front of everyone, says, stand in front of Mary Magdalene and said, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." There'll be a million rocks flying.
Yeah, nobody
There'll
even questions.
be two rock piles. Yeah. The stones will be flying.
Yeah, nobody would even pause to think. Wonder what he means by that. They would just grab a rock and start throwing.
I mean, that's the society we live in now. I mean, we live in a society where a television network has these like celebrities come out and say that we're going to tell you how to think, and that's how you should think.
It's just again, it goes back to it's not that they have a negative outlook on Barstool. It's not that bothers me. Obviously, I think they're ignorant, but it's the idea that you can have such a past and claim some moral virtue. That is what drives me crazy. And that is why I will continue to hop in the mud anytime I need to.
It's a feeling that people have a feeling that what they like must be mandated, and what they don't like needs to be banned.
Yeah.
That is essentially what these people feel.
Yeah. They don't like fun. They don't get the joke, or they don't think the joke is funny, therefore the joke shouldn't exist. But
I
they're in for a
mean,
sad awakening because over the long time, it's going to work out.
I mean, people are still treating it and I'm sure there's still some cases of COVID that are dangerous. But you know what? People die from the common cold. People
Yeah,
die from the flu.
I know somebody who died of COVID. Like I don't. It's not that I take it lightly.
No. It could be a serious illness, but the fact is, it's the death rate is less than 1%, and even though now that it seems like it's spreading faster, it's like a less dangerous variant,
Yeah,
which is what we wanted, isn't it? Isn't that what we wanted? We wanted to get to a point now where if you get COVID,
it's not.
you
It's
don't.
not. It's not life threatening.
It's not going to knock you out. These people who
Yeah,
are getting it, some of the people, I mean, they had the symptoms were like loss of sense of taste and smell, and it doesn't even seem like that's even on the list anymore.
yeah, yeah.
And then people are out there getting on these lines. I mean, we saw the line last week in Belleville that it's like a half mile long
Yeah.
for the drive-through testing, and it's insane. First off, if you're asymptomatic, you're vaccinated, your family's vaccinated, everyone around you's vaccinated, don't tie up the line.
Yeah. Well, that's the main. I guess that's the main question when we were driving by was who are all the people in these lines? If there's a certain amount of people vaccinated and there's asymptomatic, I mean, who's in these lines? But I don't
And,
know.
and people want everyone the one to. I mean, there's choices and consequences in life. I'm not a guy that goes out and gets vaccines. I've never gotten a flu shot.
Yeah.
I and because of mandates and because I want to go out and do things, I got the vaccine. I got the booster.
Yeah. You even got the booster.
I mean, that was my choice though.
Yeah.
And people who aren't getting the vaccine are making the choice. And, and, and just people just want to be everyone's business. Let people live. I mean, let people live as they want to, and just the anger and just like frustration for people trying to live, and just everyone. It's like everyone just wants everyone to think the same, be the same. It's like they just want like automatons.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they want to be a monolith. Really, everyone thinks the same, acts the same, but
I mean,
we will prevail. There will be sports. NHL's coming back tonight, right?
yeah, NHL's coming back tonight. I think the Devils play a game on tomorrow in Buffalo.
Mhm. Yeah. Spit and Chicklets are going to the
We,
Winter Classic.
yep, which is in the Twin Cities.
Yep. So that'll be pretty cool to see them there and all the content they make. And then
Yeah, we're going up to Utica and Glen Falls at the end of next week. That's going to be fun.
yeah, oh yeah, we
Watch
got
a little
home.
minor league hockey. You see, I mean, it's just they got it. This is not the same virus it was 2 years ago. It did that when they said 2 weeks stop
Yeah,
stop the curve.
it's been the longest 2 weeks of my life.
And some people are trying to still act like that's the case, even though they said get the vaccine, get the vaccine, get the vaccine, and we got the vaccine so we can continue to live our lives. I got the vaccine to continue to live my lives. I mean,
I got it because I
the,
wanted
the,
to go to Devils games.
yeah, what? Yeah, now you have to have the vaccine. They're not even letting anyone in if you don't have the vaccine.
Yeah, that was. Although I will say this: the people, the security they have going into the Prudential Center, I I don't even know if I want to call them security. They wear security jackets, but one lady said, "Well, she asked if I was vaccinated." I said yes, which is the truth, and I have a card to prove it. But she asked if I was vaccinated. I said yes. She asked to see my papers, and so I said sure. So as I'm pulling out my wallet, the other person says, "Hey, you need to get going. You need to keep walking." And I'm like, "All right, well, what do you want me to show?" She asked for my vaccine card. You're telling me to keep going, which is it? Because I don't
Oh
need.
well, that's a common thing that happens in New Jersey. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing, and the left hand hardly cares. The
Well,
left hand goes to pick its nose, and the right hand doesn't care.
the problem is they're standing right next to each other. I literally like there these two ladies standing right next to each other. This one says, "I need to see your vaccine card," and this one says, "You can't stop here. Keep walking." You're right next to me, and so it is the most cordial I've ever been. Or the most stern I've ever been when cordial. I told her, I said, she's asked to see my vaccine card, so that's what I'm doing. And I stood there as I'm getting my vaccine card. What would have happened if I would have kept walking without showing my vaccine card? Because
They just don't. It's it's just like a
yeah,
clusterfuck.
yeah. And now you have to have the vaccine. So because a lot of, I guess if you wear your mask into like through security, they don't ask to see your vaccine card. But now they're going to be asking every person to see their vaccine card.
And
It's already
you
backed
got,
up.
and now they're making the mask. You have to wear the mask.
Even really.
Yeah.
So only vaccinated people are allowed in, and everyone has to wear a mask, even though everyone who's allowed in is vaccinated.
Yes. Not the devil's fault.
I know. I know. It's Newark.
Yeah. You see, this
I'm
is this.
I'm leaving to go home to Florida later on today. I'm so excited to be in Florida where life is normal.
Will you be rooting for Rutgers at the Gator Bowl?
Yes, I will be. I will be. I'm not sure if I'm going to the game yet, but I will root for Rutgers. I just thought about this. Am I a snowbird?
Well, for the next week, you'll be.
Yeah. You know that I am so New Jersey. I didn't even realize that. I I live in New Jersey, have properties in Florida, and I'm going home for the winter. Frank, I'm
Now,
Jersey.
now when you get back, either Monday or Tuesday, you're gonna have to try the Taylor ham one of these days in January.
The pork roll?
The Taylor ham.
So I'm glad you brought that up. I saw it. I saw it at the grocery store, and it said Taylor pork roll,
But it's Taylor ham.
but it said pork roll on the Taylor ham.
Are you going to move to Philadelphia? Because that's where they say pork roll.
I am not. It is officially Taylor. If you're telling me New Jerseyans say Taylor ham, then it is Taylor ham.
It really is like it's almost like the Mason-Dixon line of New Jersey. People in the north call it Taylor ham. People in the south call it pork roll.
So Rutgers is Central Jersey, right?
Rutgers is the DMZ.
Yeah. Where is that in relation to Newark? Where's Rutgers? Like how much further south? Like we're North Jersey. How North Jersey are we?
Well, the northernmost part of New Jersey is where you go into Bergen County.
Oh, so we're North Jersey as North Jersey can be.
Yeah. And Bergen County is a rather large county. And if you take the Parkway north, you go up through Bergen County into upstate New York. And if you go west, there's like an area where the three states converge: New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. And there's a monument out there called High Point National Park by Port Jervis.
Is it just a park or? Okay.
Yeah. Then you have, and basically, the Rutgers is almost like in the central, just like the middle of the state. And I would say maybe it's an hour drive from Newark, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. Now what do they call it at Rutgers?
What?
What do they call it at Rutgers?
It depends what area you came from. It really is. Really, Rutgers is like the DMZ.
Yeah. It's just it's a mix of everyone.
Yeah. And then if you're from Salem, New Jersey, you're definitely going to call it pork roll. If you're from Camden, the areas near Philadelphia, you're going to call it pork roll. Just like they call a sub a hoagie down there.
Yeah. We've talked about that before, and I wasn't sure if hoagie is like a Dutch word or not. Like where does the term hoagie come from? I imagine it's something with the Dutch or something.
I'm not sure, but I know that the sub came because the sandwich looked like a submarine.
Yeah, and I'm familiar with that, but hoagie I imagine is just like it's so different, and unless hoagie is a name or something that was a person's name who made the sandwiches, I don't know. But it's official because I'm Northern Jersey. It is Taylor ham. I will officially call it Taylor ham.
I actually have a button that has "I vote Taylor ham" when I got a Devil game.
Yeah, they gave that out during the election.
Yeah, it was like they were supposed to last for a month and it only lasted one day.
What do you mean?
It was supposed to be throughout the month of March in 2020. Anyone that went to the game, if you bought pork roll and called it, you brought it and called it pork roll, you got the pork roll button. If you brought it and you got the Taylor ham, they gave you the Taylor ham button.
What do you mean bought it? What did you buy?
The sandwich.
Oh, I thought it was at a Devils game.
It was.
Oh, so they sold the sandwiches at the Devils game.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying they just passed them out like at when you were like giving them your ticket. So
No. Yeah, you had to buy the sandwich. And if you called it, and it was at the Bayonne Diner inside of the Prudential Center, which is just a concession stand, not a diner. So if you brought it and you called it Taylor ham, they gave you the button that said Taylor ham. If you brought it and called it pork roll, they gave you the pork roll button. I think Taylor ham was winning when the season got stopped, but that was just something that they did.
Yeah. Man. Truly, the whole reason I got vaccinated is so that I could travel places, including like going to sports games and everything. If it's a matter, the idea of having to keep my mask on,
but here's an exception: if you're eating and drinking, you don't have to have the mask on. So popcorn, get the popcorn.
Why don't you say
I'm eating
that,
popcorn.
Friend? I'll be eating and drinking the entire time.
Yeah,
all right.
I'll get the helmet of popcorn. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Eating.
Yeah. Well, it's so stupid.
That is how silly this is.
It's just you. So when you make those kind of exceptions, obviously you have to make the exception. Otherwise, you can't you can't sell concessions.
Yeah, what are you gonna have? And then you have these people who clearly hate their job, who are probably like part-time, doing this part-time because they need extra money. And they're gonna have people standing over you. You're not eating. Put the mask on.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this: when I went to the Chicago Bears, the Bears played in Jacksonville last season. I was sitting in the stands, and I was eating French fries. And a guy told me I had to put my mask on. I showed him the basket of fries and said, I'm eating French fries. And he said, you have to eat it. You have to like put it in your mouth and then put your mask back on while you chew. And I looked at the guy and said, I'll go sit somewhere else. Thanks. And I got up and I walked to because this was like an area where you can just, sit down or hang out. And I just got up and walked to my seat. Like I'm not playing.
We're beyond the silly season with this shit.
It's just, yeah. So there you go. Just eat and drink during the game, and there's not a problem.
I mean, we're beyond the silly season, it just beyond silly season. I mean, and I'm looking outside. I wish I was in Arizona today. It just COVID fucking ruins everything because we let it ruin everything. It was deadly to begin with. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your business. I'm not gonna scream at you. I'm not gonna be dancing around going vaccine. Yeah, I'm not gonna be that. I'm gonna be basically look at it. I mean, we really just need to stop minding people's business. We need to mind our own business. I mean, this is why we need to disband. That Congress and all these politicians should be part-time jobs, no, not jobs for life. That basically there should be term limits on everything. Just so you don't get entrenched in power and just sitting in your own shit. Yeah. I mean, it's just utter bullshit. That you should actually have to live life and live by the rules that you set, which is still not necessarily happening. It just.
Yeah, well, where's the governor of New Jersey right now?
He's not in New Jersey.
No, he's in Costa Rica on vacation with his family.
Yeah, and he basically saying that even though I'm in Costa Rica, you should probably stay home.
Yeah. Going back to how we started, or where we started with this episode, it's not that they're hypocrites. That's the biggest takeaway. Is they're hypocrites, and what are you going to do though, right? You're going to put on your mask, you're going to get the booster shot, and you're going to go to watch a Devils game.
Yeah, I want to watch the Devils game. It's annoying that I have to sit there with the mask on. But you know what? I actually have a Devils mask, so fuck them.
we'll get back to normal sooner or later. Um, Unfortunately, it's going to be another year for the until the Arizona Bowl again. What sucks, obviously, it sucks for the players. This was going to be like their final football game as like a collegiate athlete for the seniors. But there was a whole bunch of events that we missed out on. The streaming, I know all the guys in the booth were working, all the ladies too, guys and girls were working hard. It sucks that all the work and input they had is
The only people who are happy that this got canceled are people who just don't like fun.
yeah, unless they're having it in Costa Rica.
Yes.
Welcome to New Jersey. By the way, things happening soon. We finished season one of Sopranos. I'll be putting out Sopranos, my season one review. No spoilers here, but we finished season one. What it came out in what 1999?
1999. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm not too far behind, but I'll have a season one recap. Writing a blog about that. I'm going to Jacksonville. I should be there I might go to the Rutgers game, the Gator Bowl. We'll see, and then I'll be back, and we're headed to Utica,
Glen Falls.
Adirondack. Yep,
Do some hot dog reviews up on along the way.
that'll be fun. Get back to our normal routine.
Yep.
On the road.
And by the way, tomorrow, is it tomorrow or is it Thursday? Let me see what that game is. I just heard something disgusting
What?
and grotesque. Yeah. It's the game that is in Charlotte between North Carolina and South Carolina. The Duke's Mayo Bowl. Never even heard of Duke's Mayo.
Yeah.
I guess it's a regional brand. Well, anyway, the winning coach, and tell me this should actually go to the losing coach, is going to be drenched in dunked in mayonnaise after the game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the Duke's Mayonnaise Bowl.
Yeah. The winning coach is getting dunked.
Just to make sure you heard me correctly, the winning coach is getting dunked in mayo. Well, of course, because they can't have it the other way because it's sponsored by mayonnaise. They're promoting mayonnaise. You can't have the loser getting mayonnaise. Did you see? Did you see what Dabo Sweeney was wearing? Dabo Sweeney was wearing for the Cheez-It Bowl.
No, I didn't see that.
He's wearing he's basically wearing a suit where it looks like a Cheez-It colored suit.
Huh.
It's very appropriate for the Clemson game. But yeah, so bowl games are continuing. Unfortunately, the Arizona Bowl is not one of them. But I know that the people they're just going to leverage all this in the next season and make it an even bigger event next year.
That would be fun. Arizona is one of those states I haven't been to. I still want to see all 50 states, even Oregon.
We're getting close. Oh, sorry about that. A train's coming through.
Well, it passed me 30 seconds ago.
We've got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of stuff going on. Taking a quick little few days down to Florida, but I'll be back. Anything while I'm gone? Anything you're doing, Frank?
I don't know. I got to think.
You gonna get out that drone?
Yeah, I got to learn how to use that drone.
Just be careful.
The horror.
I just really hope I don't get like an email or a text with like an article in the New Jersey newspaper saying, man flies drone into light rail. Yeah, watch out.
Well, the light rail is literally the light rail.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of stuff planned, and like I said, we're both vaccinated. We've got our masks, so we're still going to continue doing what we do. And
You know, I and for people, and if these people aren't sick and are asymptomatic, what are we doing here?
and they're young people.
I mean, people get sick from different ailments all the time, and to me, it looks like the flu is more deadly, and then the people just running out getting tested. We really just need to turn off the news, especially morning shows.
You do not like morning shows.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How was your day? Oh, I had a great weekend. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, morning. In today's lead story, a tractor trailer flipped over and killed, knocked the school bus down a ravine. Oh, that's bad news. Well, it was rainy out there yesterday, but today it's sunny and bright. And here's Jill with the weather. How's the weather out there tonight? Oh, it's beautiful, gorgeous day today. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
I think I might feel bad for the weather people because they have like the worst transitions. Like they have to hear 5 people murdered on the subway. Oh, but please tell us whether or not it's sunny outside. Like I feel like I feel I'm sure there's some bad transitions out there where like the weather guy just going, what the shit. Like you had to send that to me. Like now
One of my favorite, some of my favorite YouTube videos are news bloopers. And there was this one guy like in Florida. I don't know where he was working, where he was like screaming that there was a cockroach around him when he was trying to do the weather report.
we don't like roaches.
And then there was the famous one where the guy's out there and a bug flies in his mouth. He's like, God.
And he starts talking about how like a small town and like he's ready to get
Yeah,
out of there.
I hate this country ass weather. And then there was another one. It was funny. It was like this. It looked like a morning show thing where she's like at a winery says that goes oh I could be she and then she like tried to like stop out the wine real fast and it fell on her face. Ow! Ow!
And that you feel because you know exactly how she's feeling at that moment. Like we've all fallen and like you know exactly how she's feeling, but the camera doesn't pan to her, so you just hear the audio of and it's horrible.
I mean, just the news bloopers are sometimes the best. Oh, look, there's a train now going into it, going into the garage or the depot.
Yeah. All right, Frank. Well, it was a week for sure. I'm headed to Florida. I I'm happy. I'm excited. But I'll be back shortly, and we'll head up to New York.
Yep, have fun. I'll see you next week. Back at the office next on Monday for me, at least. Depending on when you get back. When you get back to the office,
Is now, yeah. Now, are people going to be in the office next week?
I think so.
Okay. Well, you know what I mean. We talked about it earlier. I think the CDC should probably look at yours and mine's blood because somehow I have been around people who I know have had COVID, like actively. I've been around people like that at least 3 times for like multiple days in a row. No symptoms, no nothing. And I think you're in the same boat where just we have either we haven't gotten it some in a miracle or we have gotten it and we've been completely asymptomatic. Either way, we are anomalies, Frank.
That we are, and I'm boosted.
I hope that becomes a saying. Did you get your booster? Oh, I'm boosted. I'm
I'm
so
boosted. I'm
boosted.
boosted. I'm vaccinated. I mean,
Yes, but are you boosted? I am
I,
boosted.
I mean, I'm hoping that after I get my 7th booster, I get something free.
Yeah. Free cup of coffee. Well, that was we're not to get too far into it again, but I heard De Blasio said that like he'll send out somebody to your house, and everybody can get the booster, and you get $100. Are they doing that in Jersey?
Not yet.
I'm holding out for that $100, Frank.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have people start knocking on your door. Are you masked? Masked while you sleep?
Are you
Masked
boosted? I love that. I love that phrase. Are you? Oh, I'm boosted.
Okay, you're not vaccinated. We're going to take you to the unvaccinated island.
Yeah.
We're going to take you to the unvaccinated camp. These are happy camps. La 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 la.
They just show the morning show all day long.
Good.
That'd be enough to get me boosted. I'd get boosted.
Okay, you're not vaccinated. Okay, you have to watch the morning show 24/7. The morning show network.
Just
Good morning.
Put him on right now.
Good morning. Good morning. How's it going? Good morning. And you always have, how's it going, Chip? It's going well. Going well, Chip. It's going well. I got a nice cup of coffee. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. That's Barstool Units, episode 46. I think 46, Frank?
46.
46. I'm Coach Doug's. Frank, please take us out.
In honor of the people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Oh, the right hand knows, the right hand does know what the left hand does, and the right hand hardly cares. Oh, the left hand knows know what the right hand does, and the right hand hardly cares. The left hand doesn't give a fuck, even though it's driving the truck. Because the left hand goes to pick its nose, and the right hand doesn't care.
Beautiful, Frank. Beautiful. And that is